Folks, it is winding down, at least in terms of the exhibit, and we got the guy. He is the Executive Vice President, and this is your first as Executive Vice President. Dale Parker joins us. Dale, I know you've been here a number of times as a member and as a producer. First time as Executive Vice President.
That's right.
Talk to us about what happened over the last couple of days.
Absolutely. So what a great event we've had so far. In fact, as this weekend has rolling down now, I've got to see so many of the people that I've gotten to know over the last few weeks and few months in this new role. And you're exactly right. Years past, I came here as a producer myself to go through the trade show, to sit in on some of the meetings and learn some things. So now I'm wearing a very different hat in a very different role as the Executive Vice President. One of the biggest challenges is trying to make sure that we're doing everything that our members need and that our vendors need, and it's such a fine balance at times to try to keep all that together. But what a great weekend we've had so far, and we're going to wind it out here a little later this evening to finish out the event.
Yeah, and that part of it, I want to spend a moment talking about that. Why don't we do it right now? Because you're having your youth awards, and we all know, we've been talking about it during the interviews today, we've got the present, but the future, man, that's where it's at, right?
Absolutely. The future is where it's at, and I also am very mindful, the youth are what's also in the very present. They're the ones that's involved in things that are important now. Some of them are raising their own cattle. They're doing a lot of showmanship projects and a lot of shows across the country. So we're very proud of the youth that we have, and we want to recognize those youth, and so that's the whole point of tonight's event.
Well, and that's exactly what I was talking about there, is because they are happening in the present, and what they do now will inspire what could happen in the future, because we talked with Commissioner Andy Holt, and his story is pretty inspiring in the fact that a grade school teacher that was into ag and got him inspired, and look at him now.
Yes.
Yeah, producer, he's a member of TCA, and he's the Commissioner of Agriculture.
That's right. And we're so happy to be having a good connection between the Department of Ag and Commissioner Holt, and it takes all of that. It takes our members, our producers, our legislative officials. It takes all of that to make this association work, and so we're so thankful that we've got a good connection with all of them.
I realize that there are notes that you've made and notes that you're going to be taking back to your team, things about, you know, what you learned this year to make next year better. But talk to me about, how are you looking at things differently today than you were earlier this week?
Absolutely. So as it is winding down, we're grateful for our vendors and our members, as I've said. But our vendors, I think we need to do a better job of engaging our producers with our vendors, and because obviously the association doesn't exist without our members, this event would be very difficult to put on without our vendors. And it's a great opportunity for the producers to get in here, learn more about what the vendors are, what products they have and what services they offer. And so the piece that I'm taking away from this is we need to, as a board and as an association, prior to this event, we need to be more engaged with our vendors to make sure that they're abreast of all the pieces that we need to make this a success. Hey, this weekend worked out pretty well, but there's a few hiccups along the way, and we just made the best of it and went on.
Well, man, it's a convention, you know, it's a big event. There's a lot of moving parts. It's your first year doing it. The thing about it is that you're having this, and you're not a weatherman, you didn't pick it, but the mid-state and the western part of the state recovering from a major storm.
Absolutely. And then today, it's nice and sunny out. So
Yeah.
I understand that people want to be outside and doing some things rather than coming to a convention. I get it. But I'll tell you, there was a lot of really well thought out programs that were put together today. Again, we're very fortunate with our connection with the Department of Ag. In fact, Dr. Beatty is giving a presentation now. We're going to have a beef quality assurance training class a little later this afternoon. And so there's a lot of things that are happening even today, this afternoon as well.
That
so,
you can learn, and that,
absolutely.
again, that's another thing that when we talk about the opportunities that are here, right?
Yes.
And so, again, looking at this, and I was very impressed. This is our first time to be on site. Cool event, lots of good information, a lot of engagement. You got to be happy about what
Absolutely.
you've seen, and I want to give you an opportunity to talk about your staff.
Absolutely. So we're being an association. It's pretty a small staff, but our office manager Sally Wingler has put together a lot of this, and so I have to give her credit for a bunch of this. Lauren Neal has worked very hard at making sure we're getting the social media parts of it and all of that. But it's also been our board members that have really chipped in and been great about helping to pull all this together. Again, I'm going to sound like a broken record here. This event doesn't happen without our members, and it would be very difficult to host without our vendors. So we are grateful for our members and our vendors.
Got to ask you this. I talked to Gary about it. Here we are, February. I know this is your first year on the job, but what do you hope can happen between now and the end of the year, and talk about the momentum that you've picked up from this event?
Sure. So one of the big things is I want to be able to get out and talk with the producers that I've had the opportunity to meet, attend some more district meetings, attend some of the county meetings. That's one of the goals that I have, is to actually be out with the producers and get to know them and get to see their operation. Each individual has a unique way of doing things, and I can learn and I can share with them, and we all learn together. I've said from the beginning, while we're in the beef business, we're really in the people business. It's about making those connections with people that will last us throughout the time. And to jump back to talk about youth for a moment, our youth is so important that they're the future of what we're doing. So it's important to be engaging with them currently and moving forward so that we keep that string and keep this industry alive.
Well, one of the really cool moments for me, and folks will see it in the videos that we're sharing, was talking with a 5-generation family.
That's awesome. And so unheard of.
Right. And what was a really cool thing was that here's these little kids that they're here and they're already involved. The young man was talking about that he'd gotten a belt buckle for a prize cow.
Wow.
And you could see, like, he's going to be a part of this. You know, he is that 5th generation, but made me think there's going to be a 6th and 7th in that family.
Absolutely. We've got to start it out young to really engage with these young producers. We can't keep them hidden from it all and then expect them to come in and take over the family farm. We've got to and encourage them, if that's the choice that they choose, but encourage them to be a part of this. It's not an easy task, and the whole farming and the beef cattle industry, man, it takes some grit to make that work. So we've got to be mindful that we're encouraging in the right way and to help to keep them into the ag industry.
I want to give you the last word, as always, whenever you and I get together. And I want to give you an opportunity to talk to folks that are members and folks that are looking at this and thinking about membership. Talk to us about getting active, getting involved, and a member telling a non-member, come on, let's do this.
Absolutely. The simple thing is, we as members and as board members and as executives, we're all in this together, wanting to bring more members in, because it is a great organization to be a part of. The education, the networking, all of those components are so important. If you're not a member, feel free to check out our website, tncattle.org. Again, that's tncattle.org. You can see information about the membership. You can actually sign up right online. but also feel free to pick up the phone and give us a call. We're glad to always help answer any questions. I'm a resource. All of their board members are resources as well. And if I don't know the answer, I'll find the answer and get back to you. But we sure do appreciate all of our members. We look forward to visiting with them, and we look forward to getting new members as well.